Well guys, it's been a long time since I've posted a video about the car. It's finally back on all fours. I don't remember if it was the last time. Got most of the cold side piping done. Some of the hot side stuff is done, mainly this header. I had to refabricate to put the alternator there. I just really haven't been in the mood to make videos, and it's been a minute. So I guess I can kind of walk you guys through what all I've got done. I moved the exhaust. I built this out of 5-inch. I've put the transmission back in with the new Circle D converter. It's a bolt together converter. I still need to obviously fix my trans tunnel. Got the valve covers powder coated. I'm not real happy with how they turned out, so they'll probably have to be redone. Built this. I think you guys seen the last time I had a different intake. That carbon PTR intake is for sale if you know anybody looking for a Gen 5 PTR. So they just don't have a air to water intercooler. I had originally planned to run a PT3000. I think I talked to you guys about this the last time. Planned to run that PT3000. It's just too big. This setup was a whole bunch easier to move the radiator over, put the turbo here, and not have to try to shove that PT3000 right here. So I'm down to pretty much plumbing, wiring, and like a couple, obviously sheet metal for like the trans tunnel like I showed you, and then I had to cut out small piece here behind the intake. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a piece where the old wiper motor used to sit on these that I had to cut out. I should have probably just hammered it, but I didn't. Got everything on the suspension all done. Everything's all welded. Everything's all final assembled. I've got to get... I finally did put a set of drop spindles on so it didn't look like a speedboat sitting there, and it is sitting up higher in the front right now because it's on these casters in the front, but it's pretty low in the front now. So instead of running the stock length coilovers that I had originally planned, I'm gonna end up having to send these out to get long traveled. And then yeah, I was really hoping to have this thing done this year, but just a bunch of stuff happened and there's just not enough time or money in the day, it seemed like. So I kind of just took a step back of not trying to kill myself to get it to go when it just wasn't gonna. Had some health stuff come up, and I just needed to take some time away from the car, I guess. So anyways, I'm back working on it. Hopefully I can continue to make videos on it. Like I said, I got a couple things I want to change and do that I kind of overlooked. I want to obviously fix the transmission sheet metal. I had mocked this up the whole time with a VS Racing G57, and it's a 98 millimeter, and we are changing out to a 55 frame, not only for weight but for I don't think this turbo is really what I need for the cubic inches that I make or that I have. The engine's 3.8 bore, 3.9 stroke. I don't think it's necessary to have a 118 back housing on something like that. So I ended up buying this FIS forced inductions back housing for a 55. This turbo, I need to weigh it once I do get like the new setup so I can weigh them. side by side, but this turbo is just extremely heavy. I haven't really settled on any one turbo yet. I'm still kind of shopping around. Especially, you know me, I'm all about the used or slash deal stuff. So I'm still up in the air on that, but realistically this turbo that I have here is good for, I think, 2,500 horse. And I only want to make like 1,500, which is pretty much the extent of what a block is going to hold, a stock block is going to hold, with my dummy brain tuning it. Other than that, the car looks pretty much the same. I haven't done anything to the rear end. I haven't plumbed any of it. I did buy a set of injectors, and I need to resell these 210s to get a shorter version so that I can get the fuel rails down away from my water lines. You can barely fit my finger in between them. So if I get a shorter body injector, I can move the rails down so they bolt in with more clearance. I've got to do something with my catch can system. I had it here and it was gonna work. It still might work, I guess, but it was gonna work with my other intake, and obviously that has changed now. Gotta still plumb the brake lines, gotta send the shocks out, gotta rewire it. I started working on the hot side here. I need to move this pipe over a bit because it's hitting the tube that goes up and connects to the K-frame here. So I gotta move this over towards the passenger side, and then I have been kind of neglecting starting on doing the hot side completely because I'm still waiting on welding that to a dash 16, and then I need a thermostat fitting for this dash 16. I want to get all that stuff in the way before I try to run pipes through here. I'd originally wanted to run the exhaust pointing in, but I think it'd be easier to run it around the frame rail. You know, basically down, under, around, and then in. Do have my drain for my turbo in there. I do have my top fitting welded in and the top fitting on the water pump welded in. But that's about it. I've been working on this stuff. I don't really remember where I left off, but it just a lot of little things that just take a bunch of time. And like I said, with some health stuff, I just kind of haven't been super motivated, and some other stuff that I'll probably share about some parts that I bought almost a year ago. If they do show up, I'll make a video on it. If they don't, then I probably won't. Well, I think that's about it. Sorry, I'm not super interesting right now because I don't really have much that, I was really pushing to make this car make a pass this year in 2023, and we're forecasted for snow next week, which would be November. Sometime we're forecasted for snow already, so seems like the year's about over. Anyways, all you guys that do watch this video, I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.